Hi everyone, so today we are going to combine cake and bread together. So first we are going to make the chiffon cake base. I just beat the egg yolks and sugar under a double boiler until it turns to a really pale lemony like mayonnaise consistency. And we are going to remove it from the water bath after, and it should look something like this. And we are going to add in the oil, the water, and the flour. I also have an in-depth video on how to make chiffon cakes. It's a pretty good video. You guys should go check it out if you are not too familiar with the process of making chiffon cakes. So we are going to separately make the egg yolk mixture and the egg whites, and we are going to combine it at the end. This is just a really brief tutorial on how to make chiffon cake base. So if you don't really understand the process here, I recommend you to go watch that video because I actually did not use any electrics to help me. I just made everything from scratch, and I even used just a regular balloon whisk to make the cake because I believe that you don't need any fancy gadgets to help you make a delicious cake. The gadgets are just to help you speed up things to make things more efficient. For the egg whites, just gradually add in the sugar into the egg whites in about 3 or 4 portions, and just when you hit stiff peak, you're good to go, and just set it aside and we will proceed to the next step. After that, you want to add 1/3 of your egg whites to your egg yolk mixture and just use a balloon whisk and just fold in the egg whites to the egg yolk and just add all the mixture to the egg white mixture and just fold in the egg yolk with the egg whites that you folded at first to the egg whites, if that make any sense at all. And after you're done folding, just pour it to a rectangle pan and bake it in a 325 oven for about 15 minutes, or until it's like when you press on the cake and it springs back and there's no uncooked mixture. And you want to make sure that you flatten the batter out and just kind of give it a little shake and a little tap on the countertop. While the cake is baking, we are going to work with the bread dough. I have to warn all of you guys before proceeding to this step because this bread dough is very high in water content. So if you are new to bread making, I don't recommend this recipe. Just use other recipes that I've posted up and you should be fine. And right now what I'm doing is that I just mix the water, egg, sugar, and yeast together and let the yeast activate for about 5 minutes and just let it sit there and it will start bubbling up. While that magic is happening, we are going to make the flour paste. Just combine the flour and the water together and just stir it around and microwave it for 20 seconds in 10-second intervals. And just stir it after every 10 seconds and it should be like a paste, like a flour paste. And this paste will keep the bread from getting stale, and it is very important, and this is the thing that makes the bread really hard to work with. And after that, our yeast is activated. I'm going to add in everything except for the butter. We are going to add in the butter after the dough has formed, and just use your hands and just mix all the ingredients in together. Add in your flour paste, your flour to the water. And just, I like to mix my dough with one finger first and then work with my hands. And you can see it is very yucky. It is a mess, but it takes a lot of time to form it into a very elasticy dough. And after that, just add in the butter and just work the butter into the dough. And we are going to transfer our dough to a countertop so we can start kneading. So you want to get all that gluten strands out so the dough will be easier to work with and your finished product will be very chewy. It will be stringy like the dough that you, like the bread that you buy in bakeries. And just kind of like lift it up and fold it in, lift it up and fold it in to just kind of work with the dough, and it should take about a good 20 to 30 minutes. And I like to scrape the sides to get all the dough, to make sure that every dough gets their little massage. And I like to lift the dough up and smack it on the table and kind of twist it, and then grab the other end and lift it up again. And sometimes I like to just lift it up and fold it to the front. Just everybody has their own style. Whatever works for you, go ahead and do it. You don't have to do what I'm doing right now. I just change it up whenever I feel like it. Just make sure that you don't add any table flour, please. This recipe does not give mercy, I guess. Like, it will not work if you add table flour. So just give it a little patience and love. It will work. Trust me, it will work. And if you want to test if your dough is done, it should be very elastic, and when you pull like to a really thin film of your dough, it should come out really nice, and it should just be a little sticky but not very sticky. And just continue slamming that dough onto the table and it should be good. And after that, just ferment it in a warm place for about 40 to 50 minutes, or until you think your dough is done. If you're doing this recipe, you should be pretty experienced with bread making, and I shouldn't be needing to tell you what to do. And my cake is already done and it's cooled down, and I'm just gonna get it ready for later usage. And my dough should be done fermenting any moment now, and I'm gonna test it out if it's done by poking a hole, and it should not shrink. And just get all the air out with some table flour. Of course, you can use a little bit of table flour here, and it should be a little bit sticky. And just push more of the, like a lot of the air out, like about 80% of the air out, and just let it sit on the countertop for another 20 minutes for the gluten and the dough to relax a bit. After 20 minutes, we are going to push all the air out from the dough again. Be gentle, don't be like very harsh on it because it is very delicate, and just roll the dough into a rectangle, and it should depend on how big your cake base is. It should be a little bit bigger than your cake base, and just kind of measure it and as you proceed, and just kind of put your cake base on top of the dough and roll it like a Swiss roll, like just a regular cake roll, and just kind of roll it. And make sure you tighten the ends. And you should let the dough poof in a warm place for about another 40 minutes. And this is what my bread ended up looking like after I rolled it up. And I have like a little extra dough, so I'm gonna just do whatever with that. And after it's done proofing, give it a good egg wash. I like to use egg yolks with a little bit of water and just brush it on top generously. This is what I always like to do because it gives a really nice color after it's done baking. And bake it in a 375-degree oven for about 20 to 25 minutes, or until the top is golden brown. And after mine's done baking, you should let it cool down for about a good 15 minutes. But I was very impatient. I just pulled it out of the oven and start carving it up. It's not good. Don't do what I'm doing. And I'm going to show you guys how it looks inside. It looks gorgeous. It tastes really good too. It looks like a little guinea pig when I pull it out. If I put eyes on it, it totally looks like a guinea pig. And this is how my final product looks like. So you finish watching the video, I should give you some tips. So if you are not too confident in defeating this bad boy, I really recommend you to use any other bread dough recipes that I have posted up. They are also amazing. Those recipes are good. Trust me, I will not post anything that is not good on my channel. So if you are not too confident, go use that recipe and follow the same process that I have showed here, except that for the bread dough part. And the temperature will be the same. The baking time will be the same. So go try it out. It is very delicious. It can spice up any old-fashioned breakfast bread that you had. And who doesn't like cake and bread together, right? So go try it out, and hope you guys enjoy this video, and I'll see you guys next time.